Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Joy from She Speaks Too. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe. So today's video is actually going to be one that actually hurts me that I have to actually put this video out. So if you are somebody who you only want to talk about Liberia back in 19 woo woo when it was great and was this, we used to do this, we used to walk down Broad Street, Liberia with this, then this is not the video for you. And if you're someone who cannot handle a difference in opinion or someone else's perspective, then this video is not for you. I'm going to be talking about dishonesty in Liberia. I'm going to be talking about corruption, and not corruption as it pertains to a large scale. I'm going to be talking about corruption and dishonesty as it pertains to me and you in everyday life. So if this is something you don't want to talk about, you don't want to discuss, have a healthy discussion or even a healthy debate, then it's time for you to click off of this video. So we all know what dishonesty is. Lying, cheating, stealing, and we all have been dishonest at one point in our lives, and we will be dishonest in the future. If you haven't been dishonest ever, then just keep on living. I'm telling you, you will get there. You will graduate to dishonesty. So having said that, I just want to add that we will never be perfect. None of us will be perfect. We have all been dishonest. We have all lied, but I don't think it should be a part of our everyday dealings. I don't think it should be a part of our everyday interactions, especially on mundane things that are of no significance. I think that honesty should be modeled for our children and future generations. And that's the only way to make Liberia a better country. It starts with honesty. Just like charity begins in the home, so does honesty. So does, we're going to talk more about some other things. Okay, since we all know about honesty, one word that is thrown around a lot in Liberia is corruption. Corruption here, corruption there. Everyone talks about it so much that I'm sick of hearing about that word, but I chose to do a whole video about it. So anyway, we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to put my professor glasses on, my professor hat, and I'm going to read you the definition of corruption. Anyway, so here is the definition of corruption. Let me do like this so I look like a real professor. It says dishonest or fraudulent conduct by those in power, typically involving bribery. So it says dishonest or fraudulent conduct by those in power, typically involving bribery. Okay, so with that definition, we're not going to put it on anybody, in any official. We're going to use that and apply it to ourselves. We're going to apply it to ourselves and say that we are in the positions of power, and how can we model honesty and anti-corruption in our everyday lives. This is important. This is so important. I'm here in Liberia, and there are things that I see. I can tell you so many stories that have inspired this video, and so I'm just gonna I have a list. I made a list of 5 things because I like lists. So I made a list of 5 things that are examples of corruption on an everyday basis that pertains to you and me. Not anyone else, me and you. Okay, so the first thing I said, just like charity begins at home, so does corruption. So just like you can model charity at home, which means love, I can't go out and adopt children or love children if I'm not loving my children at home. So we think of corruption on a larger scale, on a grand scheme, but we don't think of how it applies to ourselves. The first example I have is when you are sent to the market and for someone else, and you underbuy in order to keep a significant amount of money for yourself. So an example like that is maybe someone has a restaurant and they send someone out to the market to purchase items for them. This person said, "Oh, mom, they didn't have this, they had only the one, but it was still charging the same amount. Or they only had a small one, but they said it was the same price." And then you underbuy in order to pocket a significant amount of money for yourself. You work for someone in a home. Let's say you're a housekeeper, a maid, and they send you to the market. You come back and say, "That all they have, but they still charge me the same thing. Or the woman who said it when I cost that one, she was not there, so that the one I bought here." That is corruption. Don't point the finger at anyone else. In this instance, you are given the money to shop for someone else. So you are in the position of power. And so when you do that to someone else, That is corruption. Number two, when you charge people based on their appearance, and this is for people in service areas, this is for mechanics, this is for cosmetologists, this is for people who just provide services for other people. You see me coming, how much is that? In their mind, I see my blessing coming. So you are their blessing. I see my blessing coming. So they see you coming and they're like, yeah, that's the fool right there. I'm going to overcharge her because she doesn't know. And that is my blessing, which is not a blessing. That's not a blessing at all. I'm going to tell you a story. Years ago, I came to Liberia to get my hair braided. The usual cost for the box braids that I was getting, the cost was $15. My mother was gonna pay, but she had to go somewhere, run an errand. So I was left with the girl braiding my hair. My mom kept saying, let me pay you so when you're done, you can leave. You don't have to wait on me when I come back. Well, the girl kept saying, oh no, oh my, all right, all right. So when the girl left, when my mom left, excuse me, the girl, I said, well, you're almost done. How much is it? The usual cost is $20. I was prepared to give her $35 for coming on such a short notice and just for her transportation. So she saw the fool in me. Yeah, Megan, yeah. So she saw the fool in me and told me $60. So you know what I told her? I said, just wait. My mom coming, then she can pay you this $60. That girl wrap up her stuff so quick and took that little $35 and got out of there because she saw my mom and she did not want to buy her trouble. But that is an example of charging someone different based on their appearance. That woman there, she got money, so this now would just charge her so and so. It's not right. It's not right, and it's bad for business. It's bad for your business, and it's bad for other people's business. Okay, so this is one that has not happened to me, but I've heard it from other people. When someone sells the same land to 2 or 3 different people. Now, how do you think that you will never get found out? You'll never get caught? You think you'll just take that money and run off into the sunset? That is wrong. That is a form of dishonesty. And once again, you're in the position of power. The land maybe belongs to you, maybe doesn't belong to you, but you're in the position of power because you're selling it. So in that position of power, by selling that same land to 2 or 3 different people, that is a form of dishonesty and that is a form of corruption. We have to stop doing things like that. Okay, so number 4 is when you ask family members from the U.S. for money and you lie about the intended purpose. The intended purpose is you say you're going to build a house. The intended purpose is you need to go to school. The intended purpose is you need rent money, or the intended purpose is for an illness, and all of those are a lie. You're not building a house, you just need a ball for that weekend. You're not going to school, you just need some extra cash. Your rent is paid up, but you just think that they have money. Or you're not sick, or your children aren't sick, but you just want them to send extra money. You want to evoke some sympathy, so they'll send it quicker. That is wrong. We actually had a cousin who did this for 2 years to one of my aunts. She paid his tuition for 2 years until she finally called the school and was trying to get his transcripts because he was about to graduate. You know, everyone is proud to find out that he hadn't been in school since the first semester. So he was getting hundreds of dollars every semester for school. Now, in the end, who do you think it hurt more? It kind of hurt her a little bit because, of course, that is her money, but she was in the position to help. So it didn't hurt her that much. I mean, it hurt her feelings. But who do you think it hurt? It hurt him because now he doesn't have the trust of our family anymore. And then number 2, he ate that money and never went to school. So now who is jobless without a degree? So when you lie and you do things like that, you're not just hurting the other person. In essence, you're hurting yourself. You're blocking your own blessing. That's the truth. So I just realized that I don't have a number 5. Usually I have a list of 5 things. So if you want to, you can kind of tell me an example of something that's happened to you that's been dishonest, or something that's happened to a friend of yours or a family member, and you can just put that in the comment section just to kind of get the topic or the debate going. I feel like dishonesty and corruption as it pertains to everyday life, everyday people, is a hindrance. And I'm not talking about elected officials or anyone in power. I'm talking about us. We can do better. We can model better behavior for our children. We can stress and put importance on honesty, and that alone, I believe it with my heart of hearts, that alone will transform a nation. A nation of honest people can change. That alone will transform a nation. So I just want us to think about it on an corruption or dishonesty on an everyday basis as it pertains to us. All right, so that is my little rant about honesty and dishonesty and corruption. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you interact, put some comments down below. And this is Joy from She Speaks Too, and I will see you later.